Hi everybody, Natasha Coach here with the Van City Home Team and this Thursday's Van City Scoop. I'm a little better. I got my makeup on today, feeling a lot better, and those of you who checked on me, I really appreciate it. It was a bit of a rough day on Tuesday, but things are definitely better today. So anyway, we are going to have a really good show today, or a really good, well, I don't know if it's a show, but live show. Hi Yvonne, hi Robert, thanks for joining. We're going to talk about a couple of different topics. So those of you that live in Vancouver or are planning on moving to Vancouver, you may want to know what's happening in the Vancouver market. So there's some articles out there, and you have to sort of play devil's advocate in what you believe and what you don't in the press, but a lot of the figures are derived from the real estate board and they are accurate for the most part. Hi Olga, thanks for joining. So one of the biggest problems right now is for millennials. Well, I shouldn't say just millennials, I should say anyone that makes less than $200,000 a year, which is a lot of people. And definitely millennials. So the first-time buyers are having a really difficult time getting into the market because our prices in Vancouver and in the Tri-Cities is really inflated. Hence the fact that there has definitely been a correction, but has there been enough of a correction to allow people to get into the market? Probably not. I mean, the people that are getting in the market, from what I see, have 2 and 3 jobs in order to make their payments. So hopefully that is not doom and gloom for everybody. There are some options out there, and one of the main things to do is shop around for the best mortgage options. Sorry, that's the dog. That's what the benefit of doing something live is. So you'll hear the other one following in just a moment, I'm sure. Anyway, so basically, in order for any millennial or anybody that's making, $100,000 a year needs to double their income in order to get into the market. So it used to be that the average down payment took about 8 years to pull together. Now it's taking upward of 13 years. So that's a long time to put together a down payment. What's causing it? A lot of people say foreign buyers. Foreign buyers obviously have, made a lot of purchases, and although there's stipulations now for them to be paying extra taxes, I think it's a bit too late for that. But I don't want to voice too many opinions, especially if I have some foreign buyers watching right now that will take offense to that. But I definitely think there should have been a lot more regulation, otherwise we wouldn't have such a housing crisis. So benchmark price is for condos, basically in Vancouver, $656,900, 5.9% down actually from last year, March. Hi Ellen, thanks for joining. So this is kind of the spring cool down that we're talking about. We had a later spring market. Spring is usually the time everybody comes out to buy. We've got the amount of sales have dropped about 42% below the 10-year average. And the properties that have been listed, as far as inventory goes, is about 52% higher than last year. Hi Nicola, how are you? Sorry I missed our coffee meeting this morning. So a lot of people want to know this, is the bottom approaching? When is it going to stop? Are the prices going to continue to come down? Obviously, this is requiring a crystal ball, and a lot of people have opinions about it. My personal opinion is that it's going to continue to come down probably over the next year. However, it really is always based on supply and demand. So the thing to watch is how much inventory is on the market, because as the inventory increases, the demand lessens, and so do the pricing. So there are some segments of the market that are still moving, and obviously those are the ones that are closely accessible for millennials and or regular folks that aren't making over $200,000 a year. So the prediction is that there's not going to be a real estate crash. There's just going to be, this cool down period. And to be honest with you, I have enjoyed working in this market. I'm not complaining in the slightest. I mean, definitely we're not making as many sales. but I am enjoying the fact that I'm able to do a better job, as I'm sure that there's a lot of realtors out there who feel the same way. So what I am going to start doing for my lives, which I thought might be beneficial for everyone, hi Mark, thanks for joining, is I'm going to tag a few of my top real estate picks at the end of my lives, and I'm going to post them. And I wanted to do that because I wanted people to know that there are some really good deals out there. I just saw a Gastown 1-bedroom condo that was listed for just over $500,000. It is a 1-bedroom, but I mean, when you look at the rents or the rental amounts, you actually can cash flow on a property like that, which is very hard to find. Downtown condo, I saw another one that was over 700 square feet, Hastings area, and it was it was 550,000. Another one on Kiefer, it was a 2-bedroom townhome, $1 million, but it was 1,200 square feet, so that's about $765 a square foot. So I know some of you are from out of town and you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, those are crazy prices. But in all fairness, those are actually pretty good deals for the market. And so the best time to buy is in the face of uncertainty. And I always say this because there's definitely a lot of it out there and a lot of different opinions. So I'm going to post my best buys starting next week. So stay tuned for, and they're my personal choices. So you may or may not like them, but hi Jamie, thanks for joining. So now we're going to switch gears and we're no longer going to talk about the market conditions, and we're going to move into rent to own. The reason I wanted to talk about this topic is because I've had quite a few people actually that haven't qualified for a mortgage, and that's not an unusual thing, especially for first-time buyers who have to qualify at a higher rate benchmark. So obviously if there's already a gap for them and their affordability, they are looking at options of rent to own. And I know that there are some developers that are offering these, and I wanted to explain how they work because a lot of people don't know how rent to own actually works. So we'll talk about some of the pros and cons. So rent to owns, you probably would not want to look at unless you are prepared to, eventually you're going to apply and qualify hopefully for a conventional mortgage. You wouldn't want to get involved in a rent to own situation unless you plan on qualifying for a conventional mortgage, probably sooner rather than later, maybe within 2 years. Contracts for rent-to-own purchases are anywhere between 5 years. There are fees, and often those are non-refundable, and they're upfront, and they can be anywhere upwards of, up to $15,000. And basically, that is just a, I'm not even sure actually what they call it, but a deposit fee or a non-refundable deposit, because in fact you don't have a down payment. And how a rent-to-own situation works is that part of your monthly rental goes towards the purchase price. Okay, so let's talk about pros. So pros to a rent-to-own situation, and these don't have to necessarily be by a developer, they can be by anyone. Anyone that it can hold the mortgage for you can do a rent-to-own situation. So one of the pros is that you can move into the property right away. So if you need somewhere to go right away, then you can move in. So chances are, because you're just going to start paying rent essentially, and a portion of it's going to go towards the purchase price. If you have bad credit or poor credit, you basically would state your case and you may qualify based on your situation. You might make a really good income and you've just had a hiccup or a divorce or something happened in your life and you just can't get conventional financing, and maybe a rent-to-own situation might work better for you. Market value, chances are pretty good that they're going to charge you market value, but you want to definitely do your due diligence in making sure that that is the case, and I'll explain, how to do that in a moment. Like I said, part of your monthly rent will go towards the purchase price. Generally, that amount is not very much. Maybe on a payment of about $1,600, you're looking at about $250 to $300 at the most going towards the purchase price. So those are definitely the pros. So you definitely have the opportunity, did I just say definitely 3 times? You have the opportunity to purchase a home and work on your financing and have somewhere to live and feel, you know, the great feeling of home ownership and do what you want to the property, essentially. The cons are that the owner still owns the property. So if the owner doesn't make their payments, even though you are, and for some reason they're foreclosed on, you're out of luck. So the bank will not consider you in the process of foreclosure for sure. So you have to pay the fee that I talked to you about, which is up to, you know, maybe $15,000. And if you default or they do, you would lose that because it's non-refundable. When you do qualify for refinancing, which hopefully would be within the first 2 years, you may be having to qualify at a higher rate. So, you know, I mean, right now rates are remaining pretty low in our area because the affordability isn't there. But if the pricing is affordable, you know, rates fluctuate. So you're going to have to kind of check what the prediction is for the rates if you are planning on qualifying for a conventional mortgage in the next couple of years. And then, like I said, only a small portion is going towards the purchase price. So if you calculate that, you can pretty much determine exactly what interest rate they're charging you based on how much is actually going towards your purchase price. So rent to own is an option. I definitely would recommend that you talk to a lawyer, a real estate lawyer or a realtor before signing any kind of contract, because you want to make sure that there's a few things you want to ask for, which is a property appraisal that I talked to you about before. You want to make sure that the property is definitely within market value range, because there would be nothing worse than overpaying for a property and then, of course, only paying a certain portion towards your purchase price, because come time to refinance, you may not get financing because the equity in the property won't be there. So that is probably the most important thing. So pay a certified appraiser to go in. The cost is, you know, anywhere about $400 to $600. And make sure that you don't get into a rent-to-own option unless you will qualify in the next 2 years. So you can talk to a mortgage broker about that. And like I said, I have a fantastic one I can refer you to. She also does a little bit of planning. So if you're not ready now, you can actually come up with a plan and determine how long it'll take to repair your credit. And then lastly, of course, get a lawyer to look at any contract or a realtor if you have a friend that's a realtor. And make sure that you check over all of the fine print, because these contracts are definitely written a little different than our regular contract to purchase and sale. So hopefully you found that interesting. All of you buyers out there that are looking for rent-to-own options, I do know of some if it's of interest to you, and we can talk about whether or not that is some direction that you want to go. And then, of course, as usual, we do our bus tour on Sunday. So this past Sunday, we did a New West tour. It was all condos, 2-bedroom condos under $400,000 in New Westminster. So check out my site at vancitytour.com, and you can register for any one of our tours coming up on Sunday. We take you free of charge around town and show you 6 different properties within the same area and the same price range. So hopefully that was informative for all of you, and I hope you have an amazing weekend. I'm actually going away this weekend, and I will see you all next Tuesday on the Van City Scoop. Talk to you soon. Thanks for hanging out. Bye, guys.